Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today we're going to be watching a video about Yuval Noah Harari, who is an author, a best-selling author of a book called *Sapiens* and *Homo Deus* and 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. He is a futurist. He is a historian, a journalist, and he's got some interesting ideas. He's got some interesting ideas about where we came from, how the future looks, and what to do about certain issues in the future. He's also a member of the World Economic Forum, which is a controversial organization that works alongside big corporations and government branches of the Western governments, global governments, to decide on new ways of living. They have ideas around, bringing in electric cars, vehicles over petrol-powered vehicles to cut down on emissions. So they say, to save the climate, we will do this. However, they also fly around to these conventions in Davos in their private jets. You know, um, they want you to eat less meat and introduce getting your protein via eating insects. So they have all these crazy ideas that they think will benefit um, the global civilization, the human race. However, there might be something more nefarious going on in the background. This might all be a big ploy to eradicate humanity so that the elites can have the world for themselves, that their offspring will survive. They will live great lives while you are tossed away to the side. But let's see this video.
Good evening, Mr. Harari, and thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us tonight. My question indeed is a bit more personal. You've called yourself a prophet tonight, or you use the word.
I repeatedly deny that.
I mean, all this story about Jesus rising from the dead and being the Son of God, this is fake news.
Yuval Noah Harari, a spokesperson and advisor for the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab's right-hand man, people say. I don't think I've ever seen...
So Klaus Schwab is also this nefarious character, this great boogeyman. I believe his father was a member of the Nazi Party in Germany, under high ranking under Adolf Hitler. And he is the head of the World Economic Forum, and they make it sound like they're doing the world this massive favor, but no, these people aren't elected. They've elected themselves. Because of their vast net worth, because of their wealth, they have risen to prominence. They've invited other leaders into the organization, other corporations into the organization, and even Jeffrey Epstein has links to the World Economic Forum. Now, Jeffrey Epstein ran this big blackmail operation, this honey pot trap, where they would compromise global leaders. One of the ladies that used to be a assistant to Jeffrey Epstein is now also a member of the World Economic Forum. I forgot her name, but I will make a video about Jeffrey Epstein pretty soon, and then I'll include her in that. The head of Barclays banking group, also allegedly went on to Jeffrey Epstein's island, and he's also a member of the World Economic Forum. The royal family is connected to the World Economic Forum, and Prince Andrew was also a very close friend of Jeffrey Epstein. So you have all these weird connections between these two organizations. You have to kind of ask the question, like, what is going on right now that these people who say they have our best interests are also connected to shady, nefarious characters. But let's carry on.
Somebody encompass the Antichrist and the goals of the Antichrist more than this person. This guy is pushing for practically new religions based off technology. He calls and openly says that we're going to be having entities living among us that are not human, and then he's pushing and absolutely supporting in multiple video interviews that we need to be surveyed and have
Yeah, so if you read, I'm kind of reading his book Homo Deus right now. And the tone of it is very positive, that these changes are going to happen and they're going to benefit humans. But there's also a possibility that someone can come along and use these tools, these futuristic tools like AI chips, Neuralink, surveillance technology, to control the whole population of the Earth. You don't know what these people intentions are with this technology. You can't trust your leaders anymore. You can't trust the people in charge. The only people you can trust is yourself, and you have to ask yourself the question: is if you can trust yourselves, aren't you? Don't you have the best ability to make decisions on your own behalf? Right? There are no more leaders. You have to be your own leader, for yourself, for your family, for your citizens, loved ones. What I suggest that you do is you need to become famous. You need to become a leader. You need to rise to the top so you can have a following and lead the next phase of human civilizations to a better tomorrow. I don't trust this guy, Yuval Harari. Yuval Noah Harari. I don't trust Klaus Schwab. I only trust myself. I'm looking for 100 people who also believe in what I'm doing, believe in where I'm going, believe that they can't trust anyone else, and together we'll form a coalition. We'll build each other up. We'll build each other's kingdoms alongside each other, and at least we'll be able to protect ourselves and protect our people that follow us. The best way to do it is by becoming a subject matter expert. You have to become an expert in something, and the best thing to be an expert in is something that maybe you are very interested in, that you are passionate about, because it will not feel like work if you are doing this. You need to document your progress, become an expert in your field, and slowly, as your fame builds, as your knowledge expands, you become the subject matter expert. People want to listen to you. People would want your advice, your opinion, and then you build a certain level of fame. Once you reach that level of fame, you will be seen as the authority in that domain. Other kings, such as myself, will recognize you, and you can then start to build your kingdom. And who lives in the kingdom? A king, obviously. You'll be seen as a king. You'll be seen as a leader. You'll be seen as an authority, and you'll be able to then reach the upper echelons of society, where you can take on these organizations like the World Economic Forum. You can penetrate these organizations and bring about change in a way that is more beneficial to the human race, rather than this guy who looks like he wants to eradicate half the world's population.
surveillance that is technology implanted under our skin. I mean, it's shocking. And not only that, as you see in the opening clip, he is openly, absolutely, completely against the God of the Bible and against the belief in God.
And
Now, if you believe in God, if you don't believe in God, like, who cares? It's a personal belief. It's your personal decision, and no one else should be able to come in and tell you what you can believe in, what you can't. And he wants to put into you to believe in his way of life. So by doing that, he's literally elevating himself to the status of a god. He is trying to elevate himself to be the authority, right? And look at him. He's just some skinny, scrawny guy. he's just got some wacky ideas, and he happens to be friends with the right influential people who can make his crazy conspiracy plan work. We need to overthrow people like him. I don't trust him. It's a great book he wrote. I enjoyed *Sapiens*. It was a fun book. It's an easy, enjoyable read. But that's all he is. All he is an author. Okay. L. Ron Hubbard created Scientology. He was a science fiction author, and then he decided to create his own religion. Looks like it's a similar sort of thing that's happening, but this guy has the access to technology, the access to the right people, the policymakers, to be able to do this. There's links to potential honeypot traps, allegedly. It all seems like a big blackmail operation, and we normal humans like me and you, average citizens, are going to get fucked over in this. So to protect yourself, to protect your loved ones, you have to decide that you are going to be the leader that the world needs. You are going to be the hero that the world needs, that you need to decide to rise to the top, to put yourself out there, to put your balls on the line in order for you to be seen as someone who's famous, someone who has power, someone who is a king, build a kingdom, and invite your followers into your kingdom to protect them, essentially. You won't be alone in this journey. You will have me alongside you. You will have 100 other fellow kings that you can call upon, rely on, form friendships and alliances with. There'll be 100 of us building fame, building status, building businesses, and taking over from these evil entities, from these evil people, because I don't trust them. I don't know if you believe in God. It doesn't matter if you believe in God, because all that matters is that you decide that this is the moment where you take on the responsibility, to do something positive for the human race. If you do believe in God, right, God's not going to give you a message, right? Like, this is your call to adventure now. This is the moment where I'm telling you that this is happening, right? That this is where we're headed, and if you want to do something about it, yeah, you're going to have to form an alliance, build a kingdom, and that this is literally your message right now. This is your call to adventure. If you're going to do it, make that decision. Go to royalinstinct.com. And then we can discuss how we're going to turn you into a king, how we're going to make you famous, how we're going to make you rich, and lead humanity to a safe, a better tomorrow. Make it safe for the next generation, away from evil.
I think that fake news have been with us for thousands of years. Just think of the Bible.
I mean, whether he believes in the Bible or not, because obviously I think he's Jewish, he's a Jew. Right. I mean, the Old Testament, the Jews read the Old Testament, right, of the Bible. So, and he's calling it fake news. It's just, there's no need to be mean about it. Do you get what I mean?
But there is a concern that,
Which is then very strange, because then he mixes on out of that into saying, well, we're going to have religions that are going to come out of Silicon Valley in the future, religions of technology. I mean, this guy is so strange.
So he's trying to discredit religions and the Bible, and then he's going to force his own religion onto you. I'd say fuck that. You need to build your own following. You need to build your own fame, where you are seen as an authority, because for some reason he's seen as an authority. He's written some great books. He's probably a very smart individual, but he has evil intentions. He has bad intentions. He's probably saw what's coming. He's trying to align himself with, all right, let me be one of the people in charge, and let the world go to shit. I say you be the person in charge. I say you be the leader. You should be getting all the money that Yuval's getting. You need to build your fame. You need to be as big as him to dethrone him. right? Like he's not going to do anything. He's just lucky to be in the position that he is and making all these claims, and he's trying to ease people into his way of thinking. You need to pick something that you're very passionate about, become the subject matter expert, build your fame, build your wealth, build your kingdom, and then you can dethrone evil people like this guy.
It's like the weirdest thing ever. So for this video, I'm just going to lay out the clips in a certain sequence and not really going to stop off and talk about them really too much at all, because we all really know the end times is coming. There will be the Antichrist, a figure who will rule in the end. There will be one world government, one world control of government, and one world currency. All of that is going to take place. So just knowing that truth that is all told to us through Revelation, mainly Revelation.
So obviously, this video that we're watching, he's a very Christian person. He's a very religious person. He believes in the Bible. He believes in the story of the Antichrist. Look, whether that's true or not, right? I'm not Christian, but whether it's true or not, like, you can still see that some sort of evil is coming, right? That the technology that's here, is in the hands of someone that does not have the best intentions for humans, will lead to our demise. And maybe that's the devil's work, but maybe it's just evil people's work. Okay. Humans are power seeking creatures. Okay. And if they have all the money in the world, if they have all the resources in the world, if they have all the leaders on the same side, and then they get this technology where they can surveil us, where they can track us, track your money, track your freedoms, track where you go, to slowly and slowly squeeze you, right? To bring the human population under control. Like we're going to come to a point in civilization where if your social credit system isn't high enough, you won't be allowed to have children. It's as simple as that. They're gonna reduce the global population very quickly. AI is going to take over most of human jobs, so most humans will be redundant. They won't be able to afford live anymore. And robots are going to take over all manual jobs. And these people in charge, they're going to live like kings for eternity. They're going to merge their minds with AI, with transfer their bodies into merge with technology, merge with AI, with robotic, with cyber robotics, and they are going to plan to live forever, regardless of where humanity is headed to. You need to think for yourself. Be like, all right, what can I do right now? Okay, there's not going to be no uprising. Like we can't. This is inevitable now. The only thing that's left for you to do is for you to become famous, to become an elite yourself, to be as rich as possible, build enough fame so you can protect yourself because you have fame, because you have followers, build your own kingdom, and be a king, and then form an alliance with other kings. And then, because I'm looking for about 100 people, maybe 1,000 people, we can even grow to even bigger. But imagine 100 kings, 1,000 kings, where we all have a following, we're all famous, and we all are the leaders of our kingdoms. Form a 100 king, 1,000 king alliance, and then we'll be protected at least. Do you know what I mean? We won't be penetrated. We will have our own populations. We'll have our own nations. And, at least we won't be under surveillance. We can outlaw surveillance technology and, live some sort of freedom, live better lives, ensure the next phase of human civilization is a free world, is a better world for future generations and our future children.
13, as well as Matthew 24. We can know those truths and then look and listen at what guys like this are saying and just absolutely.
And look, they're meeting out here, they're meeting in plain sight. They're going to these annual meetings, it's annually, every year, right? They're meeting, they're discussing. And this is obviously a panel, an open panel, recorded panel that they put on YouTube, whatever. put out into the media. But yeah, what are they discussing behind closed doors? And then I think, hang on, I think that's Bill Gates there in the middle, right? He's a shady character, advocate for vaccines. And if you do a little bit of digging of his work that he done in within Africa, you can see that a lot of people died as a result of what his actions. And he can blame it, saying, "Oh, it was just a medical trial, whatever." But it's like, there's blood on your hands. At the end of the day, what makes you think that these people have good intentions for you? Right? We live in a world where you can't trust anyone, you can't trust your leaders. It appears they all have been compromised. The only people you can trust is trust yourself. And if you can trust yourself, if you believe you are a good person, then I would want to meet you. I believe you will make the right decisions when you gain power, and I can help you get that power. I can help you get fame. I can help you become rich. I can help you be a king and establish your own kingdom alongside my kingdom. And then at least together, we can form an alliance. We can take on these evils and protect people in the world.
See how it's fulfilling that prophecy and moving towards that. I mean, unlike anything before. Again, with this guy, all these other people are like setting these systems up, like pushing these systems in different ways, but this guy is really encompassing it in almost every single fashion of all of those angles of prophecy, and pushing and supporting those in every single aspect. 1 John chapter 2 verse 18 says, "Little children, it is the last hour, and as you have," is really just a sign of the times, a very telling sign, and really pointing towards the last hour. And so now I'll play the sequence of those clips and then briefly talk about it at the end.
The next big projects of humankind will be to overcome old age and death.
So hang on, what did it say there? Yuval Noah Harari is a lead advisor to Klaus Schwab. So Klaus Schwab is a boogeyman. Klaus Schwab is the author of COVID-19, The Great Reset, and founder of the World Economic Forum. Yuval is praised by the likes of Klaus, Barack Obama, Mark Zuckerberg, and Bill Gates, who reviewed Harari's latest book on the cover of New York Times. Book review: Harari speaks to the World Economic Forum at Davos, New York Times, Stanford, TED, and Time Talks. At the time of this writing, the books occupied the 2 slots on. Okay, it's just about his book. Yeah, so he is the main advisor to Klaus. So Klaus is the evil. His father was a Nazi, right? Yuval. It doesn't even matter about religion anymore. It just matters like, are you on the right side? Are you on the side of power? Okay, and this guy is that like whatever the World Economic Forum is, that is an organization to gain control and power, right? For good or for better, we don't know. You can't be sure about that, but they are a powerful organization trying to control more power. And all you gotta do is read a book to find that out. But most people are too stupid to fucking read a book. There aren't this book, The Great Reset, has all the dystopian ideas that we're talking about. They're literally telling you in plain sight that this is going to happen. But most people are just like, no, it's not going to happen. No, I want to watch Netflix.
And to basically upgrade humans into gods. In the Bible, in the book of...
That sounds very attractive. It's like, let's upgrade humans into gods. But what does it really mean? It's like, let's take away your humanity and plug you into robotics, into the metaverse, into cyberspace, so we can control you and lead you to a place where we want you to go.
Genesis, basically the first thing God does is to create animals and plants and humans according to his wishes. We are now trying to gain this divine ability to ourselves.
He's just a nerd who had no power in his life, and now he researched his whole life. He wrote these books. He gained some fame, and then he got in there with Klaus Schwab to write this propaganda to steer humanity to this dystopian future where we're all under surveillance. They'll shove a needle up your ass. They will put a chip right into your brain. And then if you do something that they don't like, they'll be like, they push a button and it will zap you. And they'll be like, look, if you do it again, we're going to push the button and zap you again. Unless you're a good boy and listen to what we have to say.
And in a way, we are even reaching beyond what ancient religions ascribed to the gods. Because the gods, like Jehovah in the Bible,
And why did he make all these references to gods and stuff? It's because he understands people are deeply religious and people are deeply power hungry. So he's trying to appeal to both things. He's like, look, he talks in a way that they understand. So he talks in a way where he mentions prophets and gods, and that we will be gods, will be even have the ability to surpass gods. Now that sounds very attractive because it's like, well, if I'm a god, I will have a lot of power, right? The truth is that only the people in charge will have that power, because you'll be plugged into the metaverse, you'll be under surveillance, and if you was to do anything, right, they'll sell it to you like, oh, you'll become a god, you'll be beyond a god, you have all this power. In essence, what it is it's disguised slavery. That's what it is.
they could create only organic beings. If you're a creationist and you look at the world, so all these animals, all these plants, God created them and they are all organic.
So he's obviously someone very rational. He's someone very intelligent, and he's talking about creationists. He's talking about religious. He's talking about in religious terms. I think most people, even if you are religious, you understand human evolution, survival of the fittest, Darwin's theory of how species have developed, right? And then you can say that, that this was a greater plan that God had, that he done it this way. Whatever. If that is the case, great. But why is he so hung up on talking about it in religious ways? Because he's trying to create his own religion where you revere him as a god. Because now that we listen to him, you see him as the main authority in that realm.
Now humans are trying to do better than that.
Science is replacing evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some god above the clouds, but our intelligent design and the intelligent design of our clouds. The IBM cloud, the Microsoft cloud, these are the new driving forces of evolution.
We are really acquiring divine powers of creation and destruction. We are really upgrading humans into gods. We are acquiring, for instance, the power to re-engineer life.
Humans are now hackable animals.
And just the language he uses, that humans are hackable animals, that humans are like this, that we are gods, that we are greater than gods. There's no creator up in the clouds. There's only the iClouds and data clouds and storage clouds. Look, AI technology is here. AI will take over most people's jobs. Most people will be redundant. And if you are not a famous person, if you are not someone who's rich, what use do you have to society if you're not producing? You literally take up space. And if you look into the past, what humans did with animals who were taking up too much space is we killed them. We hunted them down. We drove them to extinction. In Africa, you had big game hunting, prize hunting. Where they will hunt tigers and lions and elephants. They would bring the Roman Empire brought massive lions, species of lions that have now gone extinct, into the Colosseum, where they would put on a show and entertainment. Things like the Hunger Game, things like Squid Game seem dystopian, seem like, oh, that's just fiction. But it's like, these people are psychopaths, these people are evil. That is what they want to do to you, right? They want to be in control, they want to be in charge, they want to be seen as gods. They're power hungry and want to have total control over humans. The only way to protect yourself is by becoming an elite yourself, by rising the ranks and becoming famous, gaining all the money, gaining all the opportunities, and making better decisions because deep down you are a good person. At least do that. Get to the top and make the decisions instead of these evil people. You become the decision maker. Okay. If that is something that you want to do, the way I suggest that you do it is by picking something that you're very passionate about, becoming a subject matter expert in that field, gaining fame, documenting your progress, become the main authority in your niche, in your subject, and then you'll be seen as a king. You can build your kingdom, and then once you're famous and are become the leader that the world needs, then you can make better decisions on behalf of humans, on behalf of your followers, and lead a better tomorrow for future generations. If that is something that you want to do, I can definitely help you with that. I'm looking for 100 people to work alongside me to make this vision a reality, where we take over, we build an alliance, and we will be the ruling class at the top. If that is something that sounds of interest to you, go to royalinstinct.com and we can discuss our next plan of attack and how we're going to make you the king that you are. Until next time, don't leave this up to Yuval Harris, and it should be you in his place.